What's going on, guys? Welcome to this week's episode. And in this episode, we're up north at Riverside Archery picking out a bow. My new bow. This new bow. But before we dive into it, let's roll that intro. Welcome to this week's video, guys. As you can tell, we're not at the HQ. We are at Riverside Archery in Mount Vernon, Washington. And we're going to go shoot some new 2020 bows and maybe pick one up today. Let's go.
Hey everybody, my name is Jason with Riverside Archery in Mount Vernon, Washington. I'm here with the guys from PNWild. They asked me to cover a few of our best bows as far as our high-end models. So I've got one from every brand that we carry, what I think is probably the best. Or, you know, one of the best. So we start with the PSE. We have the Evo NXT31. This bow comes in a 31, 33, and a 35-inch axle-to-axle length. The 31 is probably my personal favorite. They've slowed the bow down a lot from last year, but they've made it shoot a lot smoother, quieter. It's just way less aggressive of a bow and way more pleasant in the hand. It's adjustable from 80, 85 to 90% let off, and it's got a rotating module, so you don't have to buy extra modules or anything to get anybody else. Very cool bow. They also added a new feature this year where they put a second stabilizer hole down below, which makes it hold a little better and actually makes it shoot a little smoother, it seems, too. From there, one of our personal favorites, the Matthews VXR. Wrote a little cheat sheet here. Forgot the IBO rating. Speed was 343, and that's at 80% let off. You can get these in different let offs that will change your speeds. There's a lot of different options if you want to check their website for that. On this particular guy, the axle to axle is 28 inches. You can also get it in a 31.5-inch model. They're available in a variety of different camos, as well as the ambush green. If you want to check out Jeff's bow that he just got from us today. That's his color. And also, they come with an optional, what they call the SCS system. That's these little, what look like little guitar strap buttons inside the limbs. Matthews makes a sling for $89.99 that will fit on that. Or if you come here, we've got one here for $44.99 that will also fit. You can check those out at either Riverside Archery WA on Instagram or high_lake_industries on Instagram as well. We'll have those. Next, you get your primes. Very similar to the PSEs. They have them in 3 different lengths. They have a black 1, which is 31 inches, black 3 at 33, and the black 5 at 35 inches. Tons of different camo patterns with this bow. I've actually got a placard here just to give you a general idea of all the different colors there that you can get for that bow, which is super cool. I better read you the other specs on that too. ATA is 33 inches, mass weight of 4.4, IBO of 337. Next is your Bowtech Revolt. If y'all are a Bowtech fan, you're probably familiar with the cam system last year. They had the overdrive binary, which is very similar to a True 2 cam with split yokes on top and bottom. They give you a lot of control in cam lane over both cam, a lot of control in your tune. I really like that cam system. Unfortunately, it's gone away, but they have replaced it with this true binary, what do they call it, the deadlock. So you can actually shim your cam over left and right with no bow press, and all you have to do is loosen the lock and then turn a dial and it'll automatically move. Very cool for the guy that likes to work on his own stuff and doesn't have his own bow press. My personal favorite, the bow I own, well, the bow I have in the mail, is the RX4. Mass weight, this is the lightest of all the bows we've looked at, 3.9 pounds. IBL rating of 342 inches, and they've shortened it this year. This bow is actually 29.5 inches axle to axle. The other improvement they made over last year, though there aren't a ton of changes, last year you had a rotating module that was independent of a set screw, or what would you call it, your draw post. You would set your length as, I'm doing a really poor job here, you would set your length on the rotating module. That will decipher where the boat lets off at, and then the definite stop is deciphered by the peg that works in conjunction with the module. Now, not only does it make it easier for the user to change it because they're integrated into one piece, but it also is a lot more durable. Very cool upgrade. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys.
I'm shooting the Matthews Halon 32. My arrow was 422.
Mm-hmm.
And we're running it through the chronograph right now here at Riverside Archery.
I'll give you the
276, was that the last one?
Yeah, 276 FPS.
Good.
All right, so this is the new PSE Evo NXT. It's 31 inches. The draw length is 27.5, and I'm not sure what the arrow weight is, but we'll get that for you.
Low 400s, and what was it shooting feet per second?
277.
Pretty good.
Smoker.
It'll do.
Yep.
That thing sounds fast. 277.
Did you weigh your bow or your arrow?
No.
It's a 350 at like 28. This arrow is probably somewhere close to like low 400s. I know it's a real ballparky number, but
We'll get an arrow weight for you guys.
here you go.
All right.
Duplicate 277.
What's up? This is the new 2020 Matthews VXR. I got the 31.5, and we're gonna put it through the chrono.
4-yard pin, top of the bullseye, little bend at the knee. Shoot one more.
256.
Thing's freaking slow.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is he's got almost a 500 grain arrow.
Right. He's gonna get way better penetration.
257. Is that too slow? Is that too slow for elk?
No.
Comment below.
$500 you paid, 1,023 and 95 cents.
Perfect. Run it. Hurry up before the wife hears it. That's different. I had a whale on their boat.
We're getting the tail low right out of it. Right again. That's what I should have done arrow. Okay.
What's going on, guys? I just wanted to come back to the HQ and just give you a couple of reasons why I went with this beautiful Matthews VXR and this sweet ambush green color. In the video, you literally see me paying for it. So this is not a sponsored or paid for bow that I'm just like trying to throw you guys. I literally shot every bow that Riverside had, and they had the primes, they had the PSE, they had Hoyt, they had Matthews, they had Bowtech, all of those top brand new 2020 bows. I shot them a lot too. Yesterday we just went down and picked my bow up, so I had to order it in the color I wanted and stuff like that. So I shot everything probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And I went and I said, listen, man, I'm not biased by anything. I love all these new top-end bows. Let's shoot them all. So my good buddy Josh that works there, he set them all up for me at my draw weight and my draw length. And we shot everything. So shout out to Josh. And just a huge shout out to Riverside Archery. They're such good people. Amazing company. And anybody who lives in this area, definitely go see them. So yeah, thanks again, Riverside Archery. Yeah, back to the bow. I used to shoot a 36 axle-to-axle, 36-inch axle-to-axle prime rival. There was a 2015 model, and loved that bow. I shot it just fine. I killed my first bull elk with it, and I shot my first mule deer buck with it as well. So that bow, well, it was an awesome bow. It treated me great. I was ready for an upgrade. I was ready to, maybe not even upgrade, just ready for a new bow. We're gonna settle down and go. We're gonna go archery elk this year out of state, and I wanted something, that I just felt super comfortable shooting. And that long axle to axle, it just, it wasn't, not that it wasn't fun to shoot or anything like that. It just, I didn't enjoy the bow as much as I enjoyed the bow before that. So I was like, well, what was that? So I just went back to a 30 to 32 inch axle to axle. This is a 31.5, the 31.5. And I love it. It's fantastic. I shot it, I think the second best. The bow that I shot the best, and my favorite bow there was the Hoyt RX4, the Carbon series. It was $1,700, and I didn't want to fork that out. But I think that was my number one, and then this was my number two. I shot this bow fantastic. I loved it. And a close runner-up was the Prime 3, so that 33-inch axle-to-axle. I really liked that bow as well. But when you're talking all these top-end, super top-end bows, you're just splitting hairs. I had to shoot them back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until I could really pick apart what I liked. And I did. I love the grip on the Matthews the most, even more than the Hoyt. But that Hoyt bow I think it shot just super stupid butter smooth. The draw was incredible. The let off was insane. I really like that Hoyt RX4, but it's almost like $800 more. So I didn't like it that much more. And I'm still a huge rifle guy too. I'll be hunting a lot with a rifle as well. I hunt with a bow and a rifle every year. So if I was strictly archery and it made more sense and I didn't have money and rifles and stuff like that, then maybe I would just go with that RX4 and spend that extra $800 on a bow. But the second runner-up was this Matthews, and I think I shot it the best out of the rest. I liked the draw on it. It's stupid smooth. It's quiet. There's not a lot of vibration. That was one thing about that Hoyt that I didn't quite like, was that there's just a lot of vibration when you're shooting it. And I'm speaking here I'm not a professional archer or anything. I'm just giving my thoughts and kind of sharing how I felt about that experience of shooting literally every top-end bow across the market. All of them were stupid awesome. Like that, my buddy John bought the PSE Evo NXT. I believe that's what it is called. And so he left with that bow that day that we went and shot them. And then I was on the fence with this one, the Prime series, and then the Hoyt. But I wasn't going to spend that $800, so I tried to get into that Hoyt that was the aluminum, not the carbon. and it just wasn't the same. So I shot the aluminum, and I just didn't like it near as much as I liked this one in the prime. And then when they got the prime back in the 33, they only had it in the 31 when I was there. So I went up. They called me a couple days later, and I shot the prime, and then I shot this again, and I ended up buying this one that day and ordering it in the ambush green. But that's just super important. I think if you're going to go out and you're going to buy a new bow, or if you're going to buy a bow, your first time buying a bow, go to a pro shop like that and just say, hey man, I'm new. I just want to shoot a handful of bows. I want to see what the differences are, and I want to feel them in my hand. I want to draw them. I want to shoot them, and kind of just go through it that way. Don't get romantic and say, you know, I'm going to buy a Matthews, or I'm a prime guy for sure, because all these bows are so goddamn good. I think it just comes down to little things like, how does it feel in your hand? How does it draw? How does that let off? Like, what are the things that are going to separate them from each other? And you're not going to know until you go shoot them. So I'd highly recommend just shooting all the bows you can, and then kind of going from there. And the bow that stood out to me that was in my price point and that I liked a lot was this Matthews VXR. And she is beautiful, and I'll do another video after I get some time behind it, some more extensive time at a range. But I'll quickly go through the accessories that I put on it. I have the black gold Rush, just a simple 5-pin. You know, it's a $130 sight, so I didn't really spend lots of money on that. It's not a big slider or anything like that. And then this is just a Spider, I think it's called. A Spider 8-inch stabilizer, and then I just bought a True Glow 5 arrow quiver, and then the rest is just a QAD drop away. You know, so all said and done, out the door, you saw the price. It was $1,500, 16 I think, but I had the rest from a previous bow from my prime. I just saved it, but everything else is brand new on it. And I'll do another video on how I'm liking it here in a couple months after we start shooting it and getting it to some courses and getting some time behind it. But that's that. That was buying my new bow process for 2020. Thanks for watching, and as always, subscribe, tell a friend, share the video, comment below, like, and roll some more creamy B-roll. Boom!
She called him